So I die, I come back, having this kind of Ebenezer Scrooge, seeing my past, present, and future with my mom guiding me by my ear, because that was like my mom's signature move, is to pull me by my ear, and even as an adult, she did that. I get this color overlay onto things, right? And so I've gotten a little bit of heat just because I say exactly what my experience is, right? And I don't try to sugarcoat my experience. I don't try to make it look like somebody else's experience. What I tell you guys is Ryan's experience, right? So, you know, for me, I can do these things that they tested for in what's called the Psy Games.
Hey everyone, real quick before we get into episode 2, I hope you enjoyed episode 1. If you would like to help support me on this journey with my podcast, there are a couple ways you can do so. First, if you could like, comment, subscribe, follow, rate this podcast wherever you're listening. We are now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. So there's a variety of places you can watch and check this out. And you can also join my Discord, which is free. You can join the conversation and keep the conversation going post episode. There's other ways you can help support me too as well, such as joining my Patreon, where I have a tier that's just $5 a month, where you will get early access to all the episodes, and you'll get behind the scenes footage and kind of get into the workflow of how I go about creating my podcast. And lastly, one final way you can help support me is by checking out my merch store. So I have my brand new beanie and hat that just came out, and I also have my old designs that you can check out. So any way that you could help support, I greatly appreciate. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of this journey with me. Now let's get to the episode.
Every mile dares me to care. Knuckles wide on the line. Ghosts in the rear view. All mine. Hard like a warhead. Ticking at the edge of red. Engines in the dark. I hear them calling. Roaring through the fear I've been hauling. I was made to burn, not to break in place. Head first through the night. This is my leap of faith. My leap of faith. Stormfront stitching up the sky. Headlights carving alibi. Shadows crawl up my spine. Whisper turn back one more time. But I bled for every scar. Fuel and fury in my car. Road is a loaded gun. Pointed at the rising sun. Engines in the dark. I hear them calling. Roaring through the fear I've been hauling. I was made to burn, not to break in place. Head first through the night. This is my leap of faith.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Lights. I am your host, Justin, and today we have another amazing guest. We have Ryan Desbien, who is the winner of the first ever Psy Games, which, if you don't know what the Psy Games are, it was the first ever psychic tournament that went on last year in 2025. So we're going to hear his story, and we're going to get into some of his training and everything he's been doing. So please join me in welcoming Ryan to the episode. So, hey, Ryan, how's it going?
It's not too bad, man. How you doing, Justin? I gotta, hey man, I just gotta say this. Cheryl's known this. So this is Cheryl. Cheryl's my trainer. Also a longtime friend. I've known her since middle school. Dude, she knows that we are all bicycles and dirt bikes. Dude, you can throw a bike. I just gotta say this. You can throw a bike like good, dude. I just gotta say it. Check him out for his BMX page, people. He's sick. But yeah, man. So my name's Ryan Desbien. I did win the first ever International PSI Games, the first ever Psychic Olympics. I actually won one event, but was the overall champion. I got 3 podiums in 3 different events. And I'll just kind of give you guys a little bit of the whole lowdown here.
Okay.
And maybe we'll do some demonstrations at the end. So, um,
Perfect.
Cheryl, please feel free to, because I can just
How
ramble.
about where you started? How did you get involved?
Well, I'll go a little bit further back than that.
Okay.
So I just gotta,
Okay.
I always gotta give a little bit of a background story. So when we talk about like psi, we talk about all this extra sensory perception kind of stuff. And I think folks that have been around communities of folks with like special needs, autism, severe mental illness, dementia, things where maybe a person's mind isn't working quite right. Um, and you're just trying to help those folks have the best quality of life they can, right?
Mhm.
And you're whether it's a loved one, whether it's a person that's like a client or a student, you know what I mean? You're just trying to guide these people and give them the best quality of life you can, the same way you would for anybody else, right? But the reason I mention that is I do think it takes a certain skill set to work with different types of folks, especially folks that have, a lot of behaviors,
Mhm.
to do it safely with those folks, but also, just to minimize risk for everybody, to minimize risk for you, to minimize risk for the facility or the individual themselves. Um, so kind of to back up, I have a human services, mental health, and counseling degree from Metro State. I also have an art degree for industrial design from the Art Institute of Denver. My shop looks like an Applebee's threw up with Adam Savage's tested lab. So if you put that's my muse. That's where I live here in the garage.
Nice.
Um, but I grow up in a therapeutic foster home, so I'm my parents' blood child, but I always grew up with basically 3 to 4 foster kids in my home. Cheryl's known we
With
still
special needs.
with special needs,
Mm.
mostly nonverbal folks. We still are connected with those families and those individuals, and like I said, Cheryl's been around since middle school, so she knows all those families, has met all those
Yeah.
kids, and been there for met all these people. So it's just I just want people to know I'm real, right? Like when I say I do all this
Mhm.
stuff, it's for real, and I don't just say things. One of the biggest things that's been important to me through all this psychic stuff is transparency and honesty and being able to back up what you say, right? And so,
Right.
um, within all this, I go to school, I do all this where I'm surrounded by these folks with challenges. Um, I end up going, I couldn't really go. So I actually got offered a job to design cars in Iceland of all places with
Oh wow.
Acura, with my industrial design, but I would have had to uproot my family and my mom was just starting off with all of her stuff. So I decided not to do that, went back and did the mental health and counseling stuff. So I can design cars, I can design all sorts of stuff. They asked me to make a weight bearing like support structure in one of my art institute classes. So it was going to be a test of whose design could carry the most weight. I designed a tank. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
it was to build like some sort of a weight structure. I designed like a fully moving tank that rolled out on there, picked up the weight, and then like came back down. Like I'm just if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it to the fullest, and I'm gonna come with everything I got.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
also a national BMX racer and a national motocross racer, supercross and arena cross and enduro cross and hair scramble, and what else have I done? What else have I gotten hurt on?
Well,
Right?
not
Wow.
hurt. Pit bikes.
Oh yeah,
Pit
pit
bike
bikes.
series.
Pit bikes. She
That's
even
the
got
safe one.
yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Those are
just
the little
always
ones. Yeah.
moving and, always trying to look for that next challenge. Do you get it? Do it getting the
Oh
adrenaline
yeah.
rush, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much of that stuff that actually helps the size stuff, man. I'm telling you,
Mm.
dude, the motorcycle's the key and the structure around it. Just so you know, I set a timer for myself that just I caught at the very end. So it's time to do your podcast.
All right.
8 minutes late.
8 minutes late, dude. Story of my life right there. Um,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to make sure I mentioned all that stuff just so folks know, like, it's not just psi. Like we do all sorts of stuff, and what you learn through doing all these different types of things is a lot of like what hustle looks like and what training
Mhm.
looks like and what focused intention and your heart matches your words, matches your actions, right? You're
Right.
putting the time and energy into what you're saying you are, and it shows, right? And so we still train. I actually retired from motocross this year and supercross. It's kind of painful because they just released all their schedules. I know I'm
Mm.
gonna do Greeley Supercross. So my moto crew, we're still doing Greeley. You're not getting away from that one. That's like my favorite race of all time. I'm gonna do that till I die.
Nice.
Uh, it's just a bad, it's up there. It's over by you. They did the arena cross and what's it called, Blue, or now it's
Blue
something
Arena?
different over there in Loveland. But
Used to be Budweiser,
Is
but
it Blue
Budweiser, but
Arena
now it's
now?
blue. Now it's
Blue
blue.
Arena, yeah.
Yeah. So we would always do that, dude. And that was the worst race of all time because it was always snowing. Of course, they get like a 70-degree day this year when I decide to
Alright.
retire. But like literally every year it's been like 2 degrees and you're out there and they don't have a staging area. So you're just freezing in the cold. Your bikes won't
Mm.
start. Anyways, uh, dude, I can go on about
new
racing too.
adventures.
New
Okay.
adventures. We're out of the racing. I can go back and visit all that stuff. I still have my trophies to remember, but,
Nice.
uh, you know, uh, so I'll kind of get into the size stuff because and kind of the orbs and just kind of getting into all that. So my mom was always very metaphysical. She would always talk about how her spirit animal was like a black wolf. She was this pack leader and legit she was. We, as a family crew, and so we always had like my friends, including Cheryl, and her husband, who would come and like just be at our house and like I don't know. We just when we would go out, there'd be a crew. There'd be like 20 of us. So and that was pretty common. So it's just our friends or family, and we just have that overall unconditional positive regard. Man, we're gonna accept you if you don't
Nice.
have a home. You know, it may not be the best, but we're gonna we can get you something. We can get you better than the cot. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
um like so Cheryl's kind of been along for this ride too with my mom, and so my mom ended up passing of cancer. It was kind of abrupt, but it was also expected. The
Mm.
way it happened was kind of abrupt. Talking about the psychic stuff, I just knew when I got the call that was going to be a different call in my heart. Picking up the phone,
Mm.
but my mom's kind of like me. My mom died. Me and my dad got there. She actually came back to, I'm pretty sure, to say bye to all the friends and family.
Mm.
Um, and so she was dead for 4 minutes, which is crazy. Comes back, survives a little bit longer for all the friends and family to come in and then passes. Shortly thereafter, I made some bad decisions, racing, not bad decisions, not like I was doing anything, like illegal or illicit, you know what I mean? Just
Right.
wanted to race motorcycles, and it was championships happen, and I end up trying to dedicate a championship to my mom, and all I did in the process was get to meet her one last time.
Man.
um so I end up passing on this track called IMI. It's actually right by my house, just down the street. Part of the reason I moved out here. um
Hmm.
but and we have Dacono BMX just down the road too, so it's a good spot. But long story short, I pass. I have this out of body experience. I'm dead for 4 minutes, which is kind of crazy. Um, my family comes to me. It's seared into all my family's head. While I'm passing, I won't go into all the craziness because I'm gonna give you a show, man. You're gonna get the best show.
Alright. Cool.
But
Awesome.
the I pass. I have this out of body experience. My mom's kind of my guide. She's showing me the impact I'm having on people. She's showing me the impact I'm having on my family. Um, there's this degree of like telepathy with what I call my love overlay when I come back.
Mm.
Um, Cheryl, so this is one of the cool things about Cheryl being here. My wife will always talk about stuff too, but Cheryl got a little bit more of the brunt end because my wife thought I was irritating because I'm kind of irritating sometimes. So it's a little bit easier to have like a friend be like doing like harder stuff because it's like, anyways.
Yeah.
So Cheryl got to see me kind of coming out of the hospital, and we were talking about like this color overlay and like meeting
Mhm.
with my mom, and um maybe maybe you don't have to go into like crazy detail obviously, but like maybe just talk about what it was like for you. And dude, and tell him about the other like telepathy things, like when like Utah and all the other things when you guys knew that I was jacked.
Well, so
Yeah. So
your
here,
major crash is
well,
what you're
the
talking about?
major crash, and then like the one where you guys were all there, and when I called, you guys all knew.
That you weren't good?
Yeah, Utah, I think.
Oh, so Utah, he made a bad choice to go race by himself. No one was there. And we hadn't heard from him. We were all hanging out here with his wife, his family, and he called. And as soon as the phone rang, we knew something was not right. He had crashed and ended up in the hospital. His dad had to fly out and help drive him back
in
because
a
he was
Oh
blizzard.
man. Oh
and
no.
just one of those, like, we had been sitting around playing games and we're like, something isn't right. Like, there's something is off. Why hasn't he called? Shouldn't the race be? And it wasn't televised.
No, well, it was, but it wasn't
It
live
wasn't live.
televised.
So
It was on
we didn't
FS2.
see it. It's not like we knew
Mm.
because of that. And I don't even know what you really remember from he
Yeah.
doesn't remember the crash, just like he doesn't remember his big crash.
Yeah, the big crash. Maybe tell about, because you were part of the crew that helped put me back together after the hospital. Maybe
At the
'cause
hospital,
at the hospital. Yeah.
he was definitely out of it. Knew that stuff was broken that the doctors hadn't found, uh,
Mm.
which was, I don't know.
Is my leg.
I think that experience was just more. It was kind of devastating.
Yeah.
I think in the moment, no one knew what was going to end up happening with him. But I think it brought about some clarity and direction after that moment.
True.
And I mean, maybe that might be when more of your like psychic
That's
abilities
kind of
became
flared, right?
stronger because I think it was a moment of like trust yourself, maybe your mom.
Yeah. So
So
because I've told this story a couple times now, so I get a little bit more flowy with it. But so I
Mhm.
die, I come back, having this kind of Ebenezer Scrooge, seeing my past, present, and future, with my mom guiding me by my ear, because that was like my mom's signature move, is to pull me by my ear, and even as an adult, she did that. I get this color overlay onto things, right? And so I've gotten a little bit of heat just because I say exactly what my experience is, right? And I don't try to sugarcoat my experience. I don't try to make it look like somebody else's experience. What I tell you guys is Ryan's experience, right? So, for me, I can do these things that they tested for in what's called the Psy Games. And so, and I'll go a little bit, I'll kind of lead into that and talk about what I mean with that lead up. So long story short, I'll just give a little bit, like, tiny bit more background. I'm going to get into the Psy Game stuff.
Okay.
Cheryl, we just gotta tell it, because this is like the best part of all the psychic stuff so far. Maybe just tell, because I can talk about Vegas and I have all these other things. Just do Central City, because I don't think we've talked about Central. And he knows, like, he's from Loveland,
wait,
so like,
what's Central City?
or Blackhawk, one of the two. The like
Penny?
walk it
The
in,
Penny?
yes.
Okay. So we went up there. My aunt gave us a room for us to stay. And we were all together. He walks in to a casino. I think it was Ameristar, because I think
Yeah.
it was in the hotel where we
Yeah.
were staying. And he walks down and goes penny slots, and he goes, nope, it's this one. Sits down, puts in a penny, and wins $500. And I
Oh
was like,
wow.
gotta be kidding! It was a penny. And then
Right? Yeah.
like
A penny
the rest of
winning
us,
500.
like
Yeah.
10 cents, and we're like, we've lost all 10 cents. We're good. We're not
we
doing
like
Oh
it
we
yeah.
like
No.
we made like a whole trip all the way down to like Isle of Capri, and then back up the mountain.
And then you won more.
Yeah, we won.
but
We
that
won the
was
whole night.
First machine. He was like, that one. And you just follow him. It's like and it makes no sense. It's not like he watches people and is like, they've been playing a while.
It's
Maybe
just
it's
my-
next.
this is
He
where I
just
flow.
like leads you and you're like, all right, guess we're doing it. And
It works.
never did the rest of us win any.
Yeah. No. I always lose my money immediately whenever I try. Like,
Dude, I'm a
gambling.
bad influence. I'm a bad influence. So I want to say that too, because I've talked about Vegas and all these other things, but like, this precognition has always kind of been there, right? And it's functional in terms of like just having visions or inclinations that things are going to happen, and to the point that you're like, no, it's going to happen, so you guys need to adjust because this is what's going to
Mm.
happen, and it does, right? And so everything from the Vegas and the gambling to like telling my dad, do not take the RV in this gas station because I know you're going to take it to this gas station and wreck it.
Mm.
And what do you think happens? Goes to that gas station and wrecks it. Dad, if you watch this, you knew it. I told you. But you know, like just all these kind of like validations, but not really a professional place to show it, right? And so,
Right.
and there's this element of telepathy kind of through dying, but also working with folks that are nonverbal for just so long and just having it be part of my life, having fostering brothers and sisters that were nonverbal where you're just in tune with it, right? And
Mhm.
um we get all this kind of validation from all that. Like I said, I worked in the schools, I worked in the counties for Medicaid assessment for folks who need different services, to long-term care facilities, to hospices and home healths, and just literally seeing every different type of person there is, right?
Mhm.
Seeing the good to the bad, man. And I say that positively and negatively, because you know there's a thing with like, you know, death, and you can only see so much of it. So I've seen a ton of death as part of it as well, in my time in long-term care, and just with COVID, we're talking like thousands of deaths, and bedsides by, you know, bedside at the moment of death for hundreds.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And uh you know, I'll kind of get into all the spiritual stuff, and I because it's all connected. So, you
Right.
know, you just get really this deep connection with people, right? And that
Mhm.
ability to connect with them when maybe they're nonverbal, whether it's their last moments or that's just kind of their baseline, and you know they're not able to connect. You know, maybe based on like a dementia or a mental illness, or you know all these different versions. Um, Long story short, we find out about Psy Games, right? And so
Mhm.
Psy Games comes along. I hear about it from Emily Bledsoe. She put a post about it.
Mm.
I forget her name. I just was on another one. They said it. A woman that always talks about conscious plasmoids and stuff. She was talking about it and saying it was like the Hunger Games of psychic Olympics. And
Hmm.
so I was like, what is this? Like, cause you know, I'm a shower. I like to go prove, you know, cause here's the thing, man. I plan to have the biggest, baddest dad lore of all time. So that when
Right.
so you know what I mean? So like
Yeah,
when
I
I get
mean,
to that
yeah.
dementia, because dude, I've had so many concussions. I know I'm eventually gonna get some sort of a dementia. But at least like when I start talking crazy and saying I did all this stuff, I can be like, I really did. Look, I really was the cycle champion. I really did win Supercross and do all these things. And
Yeah,
you
that's
know, and
awesome.
it's it's
Mhm.
it's just the color palette, man. The I hope people take risks. You know what I mean? And don't take unnecessary dumb risks, but take the risks, man.
Mhm.
Take the challenge. Take don't see challenges as a thing that puts you down. See a challenge as something that's going to help you rise up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And so I see the Psy Games, right? And Cheryl
Mhm.
was literally there the day I discovered it, and I like was like pulling it up, and I'm like, Cheryl, okay, so you know this whole story. You've been to Vegas, you've been to all these casinos with me. You've seen the behavioral de-escalation. You know it's at least somewhat real for us.
Mhm.
You know, oh my gosh, there's this platform to prove it. And then here, you talk just a
Yeah.
bit. I'm gonna
Um,
I'm gonna get a coffee charge.
and then so he showed me, and I was reading it. I was like, okay. And I said, are you going to do it? And he said, well, and I said, if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. Cause I could just
Mhm.
tell something in him, just the way that he said the well. I was like, he's going to do it. It doesn't matter if whatever they throw at him, he's going to challenge himself to rise above and prove himself. So
Mhm.
I knew as soon as he showed it to me that that was what he was going to do. And then from then, it was training every week, even before the games, not knowing what they would look like. There was nothing to look at. Like, there was no way. And so we just looked up, like, how can you train for this? What
Yeah.
are some like Googling
You know,
stuff that we could
Yeah,
try?
that's incredible. Yeah.
I appreciate you, man, because you're kind of in the Psy community, but you're kind of a little bit of an onlooker too. You have your spiritual stuff and the orbs, and you haven't been immersed with these folks yet, and I
Right.
hadn't I hadn't really been previously either. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
we're definitely the Happy Gilmore of the Psy. I can long drive the crap out of it, and I learned how to putt a little bit, so we're doing all right, but we're not the norm. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I guess what I'm just trying to say with that comment is like, we went into it thinking of it like the same way we would train for like a supercross or an enduro cross,
Mhm.
and I think a person that can relate with bicycles, uh, you know, it's all BMX racing or it's all dirt bike riding, but there's different expressions of it, right? So you can have an
Right.
enduro bike, which is meant to do more off road, which has a softer suspension, but can't do, can do rocks and boulders, but can't do the big, 100-foot triples without bottoming out, right?
Yeah.
So the way that we looked at it is okay, it's all psychic. These are all psychic, abilities. How are we going to break this down? And like we said, we had not had any exposure to any of this. I knew what the Monroe Institute was. I knew about like Carl Jung and Monroe, and like the people had put more of the best clinical practices in for mental illness or disabilities or things like that, but not really like a psychic version of that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we just, I mean, and you can kind of talk about it too. We just attacked it like we would a track. We're like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I know what remote viewing is. I do know what that is. I know but I had no idea really what Mindsight was until we kind of read what the instructions were to test for it. You know what I mean? And um, so I mean, maybe just talk about that process because you're gonna have the exact same that I had on that.
I mean,
Well,
yeah, that's incredible
so
that you were
before,
able to create that, like,
yeah,
training
Yeah,
regimen and everything. Yeah.
before the games was mainly just create your own. Like, I mean, they had the testing games online that you had to do to get an invite to interview
yeah.
before you could
Mhm.
even make it. And so it
So
was
hold on
like,
1 second, because maybe touch on that just real quick. So so
okay,
so we applied for the Psy Games. About 2 weeks later, we get a thing back saying, "Hey, well, if you want to be considered, you have to do this testing." And I know
Mhm.
one of the things I for sure signed is that we can't show that testing stuff. But basically, what it was is it was a way to prove that you and have a tracking record of what you said you could do. You could do. And they would have the proof to say, well, this guy had this, leading in. There you go. You know what I mean? Like this dude proved
Yeah.
it. So long story short, I won't say exactly. I've described what they are, but they had like a telekinesis or psychokinesis where you're trying to keep a random ball that's generated inside of a square. You're trying to
Mm.
keep that in the center of a target, basically, without letting it hit the walls. And so, in my mind, all the way leading up to the Psy Games, I'm like, I'm gonna be working on this computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm just sitting there, like, part of the training was we were sitting there trying to keep the ball in the center of the square because that's what we thought the game was going to be, or something similar to that, something with technology, not an Egely Wheel. And I'll get to that later. But uh, we do Mindsight. Mindsight, they actually explained to us, and we were definitely doing more intuitive, where I'm trying to use my hands and my skin, feelings, intuition. Um, what my windows were not open. I'll kind of talk about all that in a second. But we do all the testing for it, right? And they have these different ways of testing. Dowsing was like a target 1, 2, or 3. Precognition was a simple yes, no, right, left, yes, correct or incorrect. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so, and what they would do is for each of these tasks that you would do, they would do like a correct over your amount of runs, and that would give you a percentage, and that would put you on a leaderboard. So, and they
Mm.
still have that. I don't know if they're going to use a different testing method or not this year. I know that last year's is still up, and people are being added to it because I got kicked off a couple of the leaderboards.
Oh, dang.
But not off the
but
leaderboard. Let's be clear. I'm still on the leaderboard. I'm just not the leader anymore.
Mm.
But
two more.
hey, I know a couple of the folks who beat me out, and they totally beat me out. They were also perceptuous, so they're totally cool. If those are folks who get me. There's one that came out of nowhere, man. I have no idea who it is. Who just like quadrupled anybody else's stuff, and it's like,
Oh, wow.
okay, you know what I mean? So
But
that's
not a name you know.
but not a name I know. So we'll have to see what that's all about.
If they
But
don't appear at the Psy Games, it's like AI, computer generated
Something came in
Right.
and did it, right? Um, so anyways, you know, and I think the one thing I want to make sure that I say too is like, I even posted like a video back in April to like my moto community and my sponsors and my race team and my family saying like, look guys, I from this point forward, I'm going to be posting this stuff because I want to be seen as real and I want people to know my process. I want people to see the training. I want people to know because I do think I'm going to go and show at this place and at least do relatively well because you know man you're doing the testing too and like I'm like at least top 3 on every one if not leading it right and so
Yeah.
and this is against people that are saying they can produce. This isn't just like a random generated population you know catch.
It's not everyone.
This is not everyone. This is people that are saying I can do it and I can do it on command, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So when you're at the top of those leaderboards it's like it's also like okay well man there's just one more verification that something's going on, you know what I mean? So I do this post. We start literally posting our training starting in April. And like I said, it's not we post. Part of it is I definitely post and we don't have good days because I want people to know like the psychic stuff, especially now that I've been doing it for a minute, I can do it better. The same way, you know, I can do triples now without too much hesitation because I know what it's like and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I've done it 100 times. You know what I mean? But when
Mhm.
we were first starting off, all of it was relatively new and it was mostly precognition. I mean, we were relying heavily on precognition
Oh my
Mm.
and
god.
just
The ball movement. The first
yeah,
time you got the ball to move.
that was post Psy Games.
No, it wasn't.
The ping pong ball?
Yeah, that was before.
So, okay, so in the process of doing all this, we also have been trying to, you know, because it's, you know, the Egely Wheel's cool, but I've had the Egely Wheel since we went to the Psy Games. Like my like winning thing to myself was like I'm buying an Egely Wheel because that's what we won with. Like
Nice.
I
Yeah.
wasn't leaving the Psy Games without an Egely Wheel. Dude, they're expensive. I don't know. I won't throw out a price. They're
Yeah.
not cheap.
I looked him up and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'll be getting one of those
Dude,
anytime
and
soon.
like you know, totally the only reason I got it is because I went to the Psy Games and won with that Egely Wheel. You know what I mean? Because otherwise,
Right.
that price tag's like, oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, but at the same token, I was like, I got to. What else is this going to happen? Because this may be the only time this happens for me. I got to. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
um, so I ended up getting the Egely Wheel and we come back, you know, so we at the Psy Games. I just gotta say a couple of this, man. And once again, I tell everybody, feel free to use any of my social media. Feel free to use anything from any, you know, maybe not the others podcasts, but like anything from my social media, the pictures of the people or anything, dirt bikes,
Mhm.
whatever, man. Like,
Cool.
but like we go to the Psy Games, right? And we go in on Thursday, and we do the track walk, is what I called. So we see the big stage that we're going to be doing it on. We see all the electronics and all the tracking devices and everything that's feeding under this like stage and where the judges are going to be and where the commentators are going to be
Mm.
um and then they have all these other rooms set up where all the people are going to be speaking and then they have these vibration tables and you know all these different healing excuse me, that copy's hitting me. All these different healing, you know, like different versions, and they have like the sound bowls and aura pictures and just so many things, right? And it's
Mhm.
this whole wing of this hotel. So um we go, it's amazing. I try to post. I know my live videos because I those got taken down just because they were live videos. I didn't realize they would go away eventually.
Mm.
But I did live posts from the Psy Games, you know, just trying to be like, all right, well, we actually made it, guys. All right, so we're here. So this is what it's like, you know. And um, Thursday was amazing. We do the run through, nothing too exciting. I see that we're not using a computer. We're using the Egely wheel. I literally get about 2 minutes. Me and this other perceptualist that did psychokinesis got the Egely wheel at the same time. This woman named Carol Bassi, who I'm actually going to be potentially doing some stuff with here this coming month. Just
Nice.
like training stuff. But she was one of the perceptualists that did it for one of the teams. Anyways, we got it for like 2 minutes between the two of us, and we're just sitting there looking at it like, oh my gosh, okay. I don't know what this is, but we're gonna make
Yeah.
it do it. All right, let's start making this thing do something. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so we really weren't able to do anything with it other than analyze it, right? Like just look at
Right.
it, see what it was, and do a little meditation and a prayer and put out some good vibes to the universe because it's like, what is going to happen tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
and next day comes, we it's Friday. We do all the speakers, and man, when you're in the same room with like, Danny Sheehan. I just have to say this because I'm not like friends with Danny Sheehan, but like he was there and I got some pictures with him, but like he was sitting up front. So the one thing that's like seared in my hair, or my hair,
My
but the one thing that's like
yeah,
sealed in my head
Danny
is like
Sheehan.
Danny Sheehan's because he's a tall dude. Like, I don't know,
Mm,
like, he's dramatically taller than me, but his hair is just so poofy and amazingly white, and, like,
yeah,
I am just sitting there on this stage, and I am just thinking, Danny Sheehan is right behind me. I can, like, feel his hair. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and you have, like, Colonel John Alexander, and you have Chris Bledsoe and the whole Bledsoe family. You have all these people that are, like, Vision Without Eyes and their whole crew, and you had the
mm,
whole, like, everybody from all these different remote viewing communities, you know what I mean? And I can't even think of all the other ones. The Vibraworks from Utah, and
mm,
just all these different people and all these different vendors, and we're meeting all these people, and I'm wearing this race jersey, and I am definitely not fitting in. I came from work, so I look a little bit more like a social worker, like an HR guy, but
mm,
like there I looked like I was in my race jersey and jeans, man, just went straight up, and um definitely got a few different cold shoulders because I remember calling Cheryl. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I made the right choice with that one,
mm,
but I did in my heart because like that was the race team, and that's who supported me. Or like, I have all these stories too about how I got in because like one of the you when you tested, you had to do two different interviews to show you could do it on command, and one was like a questioning, and then you did like your intro video, which I had an intro video for the Psy Games, and the second one was doing Mindsight on command with Hakeem, and I was racing up in Elgibel, and like Hakeem's like on the like it, of course, dude. You've been around that environment a little bit. Like
yeah,
they run motos like back to back to back to back. Like
yeah,
motos and BMX is much faster than motocross. And of course, there's a kid that gets hurt. Not to say the kid couldn't gotten hurt, but it like makes it so that the timing is gonna line up the moment I'm on the gate. So I'm on the gate. Hakeem, like we're supposed to be on the thing. Brandy calls. They end up sending the gate. So I get down. I end up getting second. I go directly from racing this BMX to doing Mindsight with Hakeem. I ended up blowing up the internet the second I got on. And I can kind of talk about all that craziness too, dude. I affect electricity like crazy when I get pissed off to the point that's
wow.
maybe a little bit scary. I hope my car doesn't ever like just decide to die because it decides to not play the radio and put the dashboard on sometimes. And I've like had it looked at. I've like tried to repair it myself. I took it to a GMC dealership. Nothing's wrong with the car, just me messing it up with
Wow,
myself. Yeah, anger.
yeah.
Um, so we go to Psy Games. It's amazing. We do the contests. I've talked a handful of times about the contests, but like they had remote viewing, and I think a guy
Mhm,
named I forget the guy's name, but he was from Australia or England. I forget which one, but he was so close. Like it was very 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 close.
mm,
With his remote viewing, and like it's all controlled. You're on the stage. There's literally probably 2,000 people, or at least hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in this main ballroom, right? And Hakeem's got his own, cameras going on. There's some people, you know, maybe that weren't supposed to because you weren't allowed to videotape the Psy Games, and there might have been some people in the crowd, and getting some videos, and
mm, yeah,
and you know, there's just no getting around any of it, right? Like anything that people saw in the Psy Games, like it was controlled, it was overseen by literally by scientists and generals and commentated by teachers and influencers in that field. You know what I mean? So there was just no getting around anything that happened. So, Dahlia blows Mindsight out of the water. I think I do pretty well with the Egely Wheel. And I know like I forget the guy's name, but the guy that won the remote viewing, I want to say it's Steve, but it doesn't feel right. But he knocks it out of the water with remote viewing. I think dowsing was a little bit harder, but like I know the team version of dowsing went really well. I know that the Vision Without the Eyes team I think won that, and it was just it was just so much validation to so many different people, right?
Mm.
And you know, I'm from this moto community. You know, people would always just say I'm lucky in Vegas, and that's fine. I would totally accept that. There is definitely a luck or like a intuitive, but like I mean, there's just nothing else to it, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm getting them right, and so
Right.
whether it's luck or intuition, I could be the luckiest son of a gun ever. You know what I mean? There's definitely
Mm.
that possibility, but you know, to be able to call it out, and then you know, we're at late January now. We've had since April of like heavy documentation at least once or twice a week, if not more, of like all these things we've done and the progression of it, right? So it's once again, it's just hard to say this isn't happening, at least for me and my family and the folks that are involved, right? Like we
Mhm.
are in the thick of it, and this is as real as it gets, you know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
always try to show like in our videos, like there's definitely some fun ones where we take a little bit of liberty, like, you know, we do like Stranger Things versions and you know, whatever, but we try to show the whole process and we try to show the surroundings. We try to show that, you know, although this isn't the Psy Games where we're putting our hands in, you know, maybe I will. I've been trying to show it with the glass, which is kind of the same thing. You know, we're not putting our hands inside the like painter's box to control everything, but I'm putting everything under glass now. I won't even touch an Egely wheel unless it's under glass now because it's just like an open Egely wheel is totally useful for folks that haven't done it yet, right? But it's kind of like,
Right.
you know, it's kind of like once you send the triple and you say you're an A rider, you're dedicated to that triple because if you don't do that triple, then you're either messing yourself up and getting a slower time, or you're making it dangerous for everybody else. And not that not doing an Egely wheel under glass is going to be dangerous, but I think it might just, you know, it's not going to help me progress, I guess would be the other way to put it. So at
Yeah,
this
it's not
point, I'm
pushing you.
just under glass, you know, and you know, whatever. It's just my choice. My son does it open still, but we use a mask.
Mhm.
So we do all these different games. You know, we like I said, we come out winning with psychokinesis. We get second in Mindsight. My windows were not open at that point. I was definitely using like intuitive. I was even talking through it. I don't know that there's been much posting of my stuff from Mindsight because Dahlia knocked it out of the park, dude. Like
Yeah,
there's lots of stuff of
Dahlia did.
hers,
Oh,
but you know,
that was
like
insane. Yeah.
it was insane. But you know,
Yeah.
like me and Jeff, we were still like we did all right. We got, you know,
Mhm.
we got down the stage at least a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not into the crowd and all the way to the wall and all the way to the back, but
Right. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but even like I was saying, you like I've only gotten that distance really since November. And otherwise it
Mm.
was just like right here or back here, or very close, you know,
Well, we
close.
did the distance live, so that video is probably gone
Well, no, but
live.
we've posted the other ones like the sorcerer challenge and stuff.
Right, but he did distance challenge himself live so people could see it,
Yeah.
and no one could question editing, and it
Mm.
went really well. He
Yeah, and so, like,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that, like, I want you know, if you're gonna say you're the international psychic champion of the world, or you know, any of these versions of that, like, that's a lofty statement. You better be able to back that up, right? And I don't make that, you know, timidly either because I want to show. I want to prove to people that this is real, right? There's so much more to ourselves, our consciousness, our souls than what we get led to believe and what gets tamed down by the 9 to 5 and the bills.
Yeah.
Dude, I just want to say this. I just want to say this, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but ever since I've been a kid, we've been being told that LEDs were going to make everything better and like lighten up our electricity bills and they
Mm.
last longer and all this kind of stuff. Dude, my electricity has not gone down ever. And I keep putting more LEDs in my house. I'm just saying. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm just saying,
Yeah, I
folks,
got
like
LEDs everywhere too.
there's
Yeah.
agendas, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
one of the positives and the negatives to this emotional color overlay that I've gotten coming back from passing and then really with tuning in the psychic stuff, like it is amplified when I want to turn it on. You just feel everybody's emotions. I can tell everything about, you know, and I'm not saying like specific details, like you had crepes for breakfast, but you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like I can get where your tone is, your vibe, your demeanor, you know,
Mhm.
I to the point that I could probably predict your next actions. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so when you have all this and you can't turn it off, you know, you also see how you're being controlled, you're being manipulated. You see how people are using that in society, people are using that on individuals, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so I guess one thing else I want to say before I keep going into the Psy stuff is like it's always been important to me to have people have shrimp moments, and I think because I have this color overlay, the shrimp moments come super easy. I see them a mile away, and I know people's behaviors before they even do them. You know what I mean? So I, and not that you're ever trying to set anything up, but you just know, right? So
Right.
when two people, when you know one's going to have a very likelihood of interacting one way and one's going to have a very likelihood of acting that way, you can prepare one or the other or both to either have a better interaction or prepare one to see what's happening with the other one so that they understand, what the real intention is. It's not, and we call them shrimp moments, and there's all these different versions of it. And I think I've helped Cheryl to even have a couple with some things, and I can't turn it off, man. So, dude, I love you because everything about you is genuine and sincere and real, and you can feel it coming off you and your eyes, and you're a real dude, man. And a lot of people in this community are real. You know what I mean? They're telling it from the heart. They're giving you their experience, right? And um, man, there's a lot of people that also just feed you a lot of nonsense to try to gain either gain your trust or get you to do something that they're not really telling you up front. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
um, or buy into systems that are not always the best. You know what I mean? And and once again, I won't go into any of that kind of stuff, but like it's just being aware, right? It's being aware of just your surroundings, your intuition, because I don't think people give enough to their own intuitions, their own gut feelings. They go off, this is going to make me X amount of money, and I'm going to spend this amount of time, and if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Or or just to have, or I'm, take money out of it. I'm just going to be so focused on dirt bikes that I forget that like all two-wheel riding helps all of it. You know what I mean? So bicycles help the dirt bikes and dirt bikes help the bicycles, and just running and just using your legs, is all beneficial. You just get this, single eyes focus to where you think it's just one way, right? And
Right.
that was a long way of winded of just saying the epiphany moment, man. If people don't have the epiphany moment, you can't change that for them, right? You can't make them have that moment where their paradigm is shifted. You know what I mean? And when a person does have it, and then they start seeing it, and then it's like you can't unsee it. You can't shut that floodgate. You know what I mean? And yeah, good or bad, right?
Yeah, that's
So
actually one thing I've said too, like because we had some Skywatch events last year for the first time ever, and we had some people show up, and the way the event was promoted by the people who own the ranch was just like, come watch the stars. Like people had no idea that we were trying to connect with orbs in the sky or anything. So these people showed up, and I'm explaining to them about Chris Bledsoe, the Phenomenon, and like I didn't believe in any of this stuff 2 years ago. Like August 2023 is when I completely changed and had that like epiphany moment, like you're talking about. But I was able to give that moment to some people at the Skywatch. And I actually have a clip of a guy coming up to talk to me, and I'm recording this orb flying by. And I said, once you see it, you are forever changed. And right when I said that, it did a big old like power up and flashed right when I said that. And it was like confirmation that like this changes you forever once you experience it. It's still right there.
Dude, I saw this thing go this way,
Yeah.
but it wasn't going straight. It was doing this.
Oh, it was like swimming?
It was swimming.
Yeah.
Oh my, dude.
Yeah, once you see it, your mind's like forever changed. So, whoa! Thank you for that flash. It was just a big flash over there.
dude, it does. And there's, what, I don't think there's one version of it, right? I always talk about like the color palette, right? And so you can do an amazing picture if you got the Crayola 12, but you get more in depth the more crayons you get. By the time you get to the 64, you can do a pretty good picture. You get depth and you get detail. You can get a little bit 3D, but then you got dudes that can sculpt, and you have dudes that can, Bob Ross titanium white with a little bit of puree, plum, and create this like crazy masterpiece, right? And so, it's also being able to explain it to people to make it real to them, right? And so
Right.
exactly what you're saying, man, because how do you describe to seeing through a blindfold, or how do you describe feeling the heat of a red compared to like yellow? Like, how
Right.
do you say that to a person without saying or sounding crazy? Especially
Right.
if they haven't had that epiphany moment. Exactly what you just said, though, man. Like, just giving the moments to those people, right? Like,
Mhm.
and the just the not only the like gratification of like, well, yeah, I had a little bit, they came out here and I was explaining, and then dude, it flashed, and there it is, man.
Right.
Validation for both of us. That's his epiphany moment. That's validation for me.
Yeah, I know. It was. I wish we could get another one side by side like we got earlier. Now that it's dark,
I know, right?
I'm gonna speak it into existence. There will be another one side by side.
Thank you so much. Just God bless you for letting us come out. Like, seriously, I'm so touched with your kindness and your generosity and just letting us come to your home.
Whoa! What are those? Oh my God! What are those? Thank you.
They're huge. Wow.
I just said we can get two side by side. Wow! Thank you.
They're just chilling.
Yeah, they're just chilling. Wow.
Yeah, they're like, it's like they're connected.
Right?
Mhm.
And so Cheryl, dude, we'll just jump into this orb stuff now, because we'll go back to the side stuff. I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, dude, okay, I'm gonna back up my thoughts a little bit. There's like 1,000 things that just went through my head. We're gonna separate them out and explain them. So the first thing so we train 2 or 3 times a week, right? Like, legit. Cheryl comes over at least once a week, where we do focused like 3 hours of like training,
Mhm.
sometimes filming, but that's very much the one where this is like me training. This isn't me trying to train other people. This isn't me trying to make videos necessarily. This is like Psy Games training 2026.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she usually helps out with that. But then, like, at least one other time a week, me and Axel will come out and train, or sometimes Axel's been training with us lately just because he's getting better. So he can, it's just like a kiddo, right? Like, you can't bring him onto the big motocross track till they're on, like at least a 50 bike that can handle it. But then once they're
Yeah.
out there, at least you can ride with them, right? And
Mhm.
maybe you're not sending them off the drums, but, they can be out there. So he's got precognition and mindsight well enough now where it's not like we're being slowed up by bringing him out. And so, because
Yeah, that's awesome.
man, it is a competition now. In 2026, I know it's going to be dramatically bigger, and it's going to be more contestants. I know for a fact that's likely to happen. You know what I mean? And so I want to make sure, dude, I want to hold that championship.
Right.
So getting back into the orbs, I know orbs. Dude, I'm amazing at rambling. So we train all this much. This is where I was going with it. We train all this time, right? And we make it a point to train, and then we train the BMX on top of it, and we train the dirt bikes, and we do all this other stuff. So we're just moving, right? So there are just times, man, and I'm sure it's just like with anything, you can overtrain. And so, Cheryl comes over on like a Tuesday, we train again on a Thursday. By Friday, I'm done with side training. I'm done with trying to keep my old heart from having a heart attack, and doing like exercise. And a lot of times what we do, especially not so much right now where it's freezing outside.
We did go out. Not that
Yeah, we did go out, but it was freezing, like, I don't know.
It was like 45 degrees out in
Yeah.
blankets, and it was cold.
Because it's kind of the same way, man. So you can overtrain, and it loses all of its pop, right? So maybe we'll come in and we'll just try, and it's like it's just not working. And then it's like, but it's almost kind of like a sign of like, well, maybe it's time to go open your eyes a little bit. You know what I mean? I bet this guy's gonna get hyper bright and he's gonna fade out. Already fading out. Told you, dude, it's something around, look, it's about to go.
It's basically gone. Your eyes are better.
Dude, it just faded out on camera.
That one's super bright.
That one's super bright, and it just came out of the like handle of the Big Dipper. Big Dipper just came out of the handle right here. Super bright, hyper bright, way brighter than anything else in the sky right now, almost like it's a plane. It's not a plane. How much you want to bet that one fades out? Hyper bright. Just came down more towards my house. Or went north. Went north again. Now it's going south.
It's got two lights. Like a main one, a little blip, and then another one with like kind of a glow around it. Isn't that crazy?
The light was next to it, just flashed. It's not a plane because it doesn't have the like, it's like just energy, Cheryl. Look at that.
Flashing like a plane would be there.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a plane. That one's hyper bright. It's like brighter than anything else. And it's way too high to be a plane. And it's gone from going north, like northeast, to now just mostly east, and it's tailing off. It's losing its brightness. It's fading out. It's about to camouflage out. It's about to camouflage out. It just camouflaged out. We saw the whole thing. Fucking gone.
That was weird. That was weird.
So, and there's other nights too, man. The same thing, like with the gambling. There's just nights I know, like tonight we're gonna train for like an hour, but then we're gonna go outside. Something amazing is gonna happen. You know what I mean? And so, dude, I won't even say anything else. Just talk about any of them.
Well, so he can see a lot out here because he doesn't have light pollution because he's more out in the country. So it does make it easier for me to see. I have never seen anything by myself without him saying, "Oh my gosh, do you see that?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I will see stuff, but it takes a lot more focus. And like he picks it up, but he also, in context, has seen mice in the middle of the road at like midnight. No one else can see it. So I think maybe it's a perception thing for him as well. And he'll just know, like, he'll be like, "Okay, let's look over here. Let's do this." And he had like, I don't know, a black smoke ring is probably the best description that been over his house. It literally is just this massive black. And then he had
like
this
tumbles.
He had this one that was like, I don't know. I saw it looked like kind of like a V, but also curved, like a V curve.
Is that
ship? I don't know what it was up in the sky.
Is it the Predator one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Predator
Dude, there's one that flashes like Predator. There's just no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it. This thing flew over our house.
It was crazy.
Like distorted, because it was a clear night, so you can see everything. Distorted the like stars, like flashed like a light, and it was hard to tell if it was like from it or behind it or part of it, but like flashed a light and zoomed off.
It was really weird.
Dude, that Predator one was nuts. And that was one specifically that just me and you saw. Yeah. And it was, of course, and it was one where I was like, you know, we're just sitting out there enjoying it. Crazy. I didn't have my phone because I was just, you know, we're bull crapping. And so, you know, I don't have my phone on me. And of course, this crazy thing happens. But there's a lot of times where I do have my phone on me. And man, it could be during the day. Not even joking. I don't know if it's an Iron Man or what. But there is literally something flying above my house, Cheryl. It looks like Iron Man. Iron Man is flying above my house. No joke. Not even joking. Or an alien. What? Now you can't see it. It's like fading off into the distance. look, this is a plane, and this is the normal route for DIA. And look, another one of those things is following it. Dude, is this like real? We're about to be attacked? Look at this thing in the camera, Brandy. It's not a plane. It's definitely not a plane. And look, here's a plane. Dude, it just, look.
Now it's gone.
It's right above the tree. But look, it's two lights. It's not a plane.
Is it a drone?
Dude, that's scary because I just watched one like phase out camouflage like Predator. I literally got it on video too. What is happening? Oh no, I lost it. We see just crazy stuff out here, and like, you know, the thing is too is like, because we're kind of out here, and you know, during the summers out here, it's nice to be out at like 11 o'clock at night. It's like comfortable,
Right.
So you know, we go out. I have a trampoline. We just lay on the trampoline. I have like a sun tanning area that we like. We'll just go out and lay out because you can just see up forever, and like, you know, we spend a lot of time out there, so we know like the flight paths of all the, because we live right, but basically the flight path where they come in, you know, coming from the south going north, they'll turn to the east and then land on that upper north pad, and so they fly like literally right over my house. Like,
You can tell the difference though. Like if
Yeah.
he's posting something,
well, that's what I'm trying to
it's
say. It's
been,
like,
like you're watching it long enough to be like, not an airplane.
yeah, like that's what I'm trying to say is like we know where the airplanes come, and we, you know, and we also live kind of in between where Erie Municipal Airport is. You may know where that is, but
Yeah.
like for folks out here, so they get an idea, there is one other airport just to our west. So, but once again, that's not like a big airline jet. What we see out here are these orbs. I mean, 99%. Occasionally we get like a V shape or like a triangle shape, and those are very few and far between. I won't say not
You
ever.
get the zingers.
The zingers all. So okay. Here we go, man. I don't know. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna do it. Here is my little drawings. So okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this, when I talk about like a Johnny 5, I've said that there's like ones that follow plane that look like a Johnny 5. There was one that I described as like the top of a cockpit of an airplane, but just the cockpit. We had these like flaming kind of sparkling orbs. What else do I got here? We've definitely had our triangle ship. What else do I got?
Didn't you have columns blue?
The
Yeah.
triangle,
Yeah.
I saw a triangle, and that's what actually like changed me forever, was the triangle. So I started seeing the orbs August 2023, and for me it started as a joke. Like, I saw all the UFO stuff on TikTok, and they were going to do the first congressional hearing after 50 years and everything. So I told my wife, I was like, well, I'm going to go look for the aliens. And then I went outside that night and I saw the orbs, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I've never seen anything flying through the sky like this. And that
Dude.
set the spark in me. I had to go out every single night. And May 4th, of course, Star Wars Day, I had the triangle formation show up above me, and I was actually like looking a different direction. So I was looking south, like towards DIA, and I have the Loveland Fort Collins Airport like a couple miles from me. So I see planes all the time too. But I heard this crazy noise like over to like the north of me, and it was like, the best way I can describe it is like a metallic doorstop, like joing, like kind of noise or whatever. And it got my attention. I looked over, and at this point I had some like night vision binoculars I bought off Amazon. Luckily, I always had my finger on the record button, and I looked up and I was like, holy crap, what the heck is that thing? And I hit record, and I was able to capture it real quick. And that moment, like, my adrenaline was going, like, right now I can feel my heart pounding from it. But yeah, it forever changed me. And yeah.
It's in so man, here's the problem. So how I want to say this, we have so much crazy crap out here that it's like, sometimes it's, you know, I just want to say this. I'm going to put this out to the universe. I don't want anything coming in my house. Love all of it. I'm cool with it all staying outside. I don't need that in my
Yeah.
house. I
Yeah.
want, any sort of interdimensional angels, aliens. I don't know. Totally walk around my house. Get on all my cameras, please. But
Yeah.
stay out of my house. I just want to say that. But
Yeah.
dude, there's been moments where like it's like I'll just say it's a little bit intimidating. I won't say it's scary.
Mhm.
There's
It's
been moments where it's like
overwhelming
intimidating
sometimes.
because it's
Yeah.
like, what even is this? And if this can do this,
Mhm.
what else can it do? Because man, that's nuts. And like
Yeah.
this tumbling smoke ring, right?
Mhm.
I've posted pictures of it like literally from my driveway. And the only way I can describe it, man, is like at Supercross, maybe the first year they did it in 2019, they had this cannon that would shoot a flame up, and then the ring would flow up, and it looked like a ring
Mm.
coming up off this. Sometimes they use it in like concerts and stuff. Okay, imagine that, but going like laterally, but like tumbling forward. I mean, how else would you describe it? You were there,
Yeah. I
or
wasn't
like
Yeah,
there
a
the
that's
first time.
or
yeah.
like a Death Eater. I don't know how to describe it. The thing from Harry
Yeah.
Potter that looks like a cloud, but more. But it was definitely like a crescent ring,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
Correct.
But like a tumbling cloud of crescent ring that occasionally had like sparks, and you're just sitting there like, oh my god, I keep on moving, buddy. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy
Yeah.
to see you, but I don't know that I want the smoke ring landed in my front yard. Like,
Right.
but, and that's just it, man. I've never gotten like hurt. I've never gotten anything negative. I think I could say I think it's angels, or I think it's aliens, or I think it's all these different things. In my heart, it's never done anything but show me happiness, man.
Yeah.
And it's going out there, because we're not going out there. Let's just be real. When we're not training for the psychic stuff, if we're going out there, that means we're bull crapping. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
we're going out there having fun. It's just something to do. I'm not really a TV guy. I don't know if you guys can tell that or not. Like, I watch YouTube, but that is I don't. Otherwise,
You're a
like,
music guy.
I'm a music guy. Give me some music and activity, and I'm in. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to sit down and watch a sitcom. So
Mhm.
within all that, it's like we go outside, you know what I mean? And or we just ride bikes, or we do our putt, or we do something outside, and just spending that time outside, you just I feel like you become more connected with everything, right? And
Yeah.
and we are a little bit out in the sticks, not crazy, but we're enough out here that it's fracking and highways. There's nothing else, you know what I mean? And so you connect with nature, you connect with the earth, and man, if I had to say what I felt like it was, I feel like it's something from Earth. I feel like, I feel like,
Could be.
you know what I mean? Because it's like
Mhm.
for me, because it definitely could be orbs or aliens, dude. There's no other way to get around the ship, right? Like when you
Right.
when you
Yeah.
see the like triangle ship fly, or not, like that feels like at least it's a nut and bolts something flying
Mhm.
over me, or some sort of a form with mass,
Right.
compared to like the orbs that are more these light bulbs that are pulsing energy, and maybe conscious, maybe not, or for me, man, it's pretty, it's beautiful, man. I always talk
Mhm.
about how that color palette and all these extra colors with all these extra emotions, it's when I see the orbs, it literally, I'll tell Cheryl, it's sometimes it's like watching fireworks with there's no fireworks, or you get these like just displays of like, well, someone's paying attention, so I'm gonna show it off, and
Mhm.
whether it's like I said, man, I would hope if it's on a scale of things, I hope it's more on like the angels, or like a celestial kind of essence, or some sort of
Yeah.
a positive,
I think it is.
helping, you know.
Mhm.
And once again, I've never seen anything but that. So I just want to say,
No.
but I don't know. You have
Yeah.
Robert Monroe talking about loose eaters, and we don't know, and for all we know, we could be being abducted and putting into hybridized, and all these other things that come along with that version of it, and I don't know. It hasn't happened to me yet.
Yeah,
Um,
so I've only experienced love as well, and like for me, like a lot of things you were saying too, like it brought me closer to nature as well. Like so last semester I actually quit my job and I went back to school, so I'm a full-time student now, and I took intro to archaeology last year. And I found it so fascinating that they were talking about the ancient shamans 35,000 years ago, and they were highly respected in the community, and it was their job. They would go and do these shamanic rituals and connect with these higher spirits that were up above them. And basically, they described the same thing that we're seeing now with these beautiful balls of light flying through the sky. So to me, I feel like it's something ancient that has been here this whole time. I just feel like we've lost that connection, and I feel like the connection is starting to like come back into
Yo,
being again. And yeah,
get relit. And
definitely.
it, I mean, we could totally debate and because I love debating too, because I don't, I don't know. I'm not going to
Yeah.
claim I have the answers, right? But what I can claim and say 100% with 100% accuracy is I've seen it from my house. I've seen it in Lake McConaughey. Is that where we went? That one, or where was the other place we went?
That was Glendo State Park.
Glendo.
That
Dude,
was Wyoming.
There's been some places in Wyoming that craziness in Glendo.
Yeah.
And my whole family, her whole family, and just the openness, right? There's just no light pollution either. So you're just getting this, unpolluted, unlight polluted sky. And I hate it. I hate to say this, but I think society kind of kills so much of our spirituality, right? Because the second you're surrounded by cement and LEDs, you know what I mean? It takes out all that connection that you could be having with everything else that's going on around you. And once again, I like my technology. I like my dirt bikes. I totally burn coal. I have a big old truck. I'm not trying to say I'm like a hyper environmentalist, but I'm also saying there is an element. We live on this planet. There's animals. There's plant life. There's other things to connect with. You know what I mean? And when you get put into these environments of 9 to 5, pay your bills and your taxes, and it's all distraction to take you away from it, man, is what it feels like. And not to say we shouldn't be responsible, but making time and effort and energy into trying to reconnect with all that kind of stuff is really hard. I mean, to the point that we had to put a regiment to it and be like, Cheryl, if you're cool, man, Tuesdays or Thursdays, you're coming and we're going to dedicate the time because otherwise it's just going to get lost. You know what I mean? Or dude, I was ripped back in the day. And after 10 years of injuries and just getting old, man, I look like a shirt, like when Arnold Schwarzenegger takes his shirt off and he's got the old man kind of chest. I won't say anything else, but you got the old man body, dude. It's hard. It's hard getting old. You know what I mean? And so, you're just, it's just also kind of just those realizations too, though, right? That if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it. If you don't continue to train, there's going to be somebody out there. I guarantee you, I don't know who you are, but there's a dude out there or a girl out there, or, some sort of person out there going well, Ryan's doing all this stuff. I'm going to do all that and I'm going to do it more. And we're going to go show Ryan at 2026. You know what I mean? And I know that person's out there. I'm anticipating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the evolution. We're both action sports people. Growing up, I remember when the first backflip was ever done on the dirt bike. And now you have, Carey Hart breaking his back on the first attempt, and then Mike Metzger and
dude,
Twitch and
Metzger
everything.
Throwing the first double backflip, in competition, the back-to-back backflip. Dude, so I was in the Colorado Dew Tour. So
wow.
when it went, and when the Dew Tour was still a thing and it was coming, and it went over by it's called it's Pepsi Center then. What is that place called now? Yeah, Ball Arena, the Nuggets. Back in the day, it was called the Pepsi Center for all those that don't know. And when it was the Pepsi Center, I did the Dew Tour in front of the Pepsi Center. And we did freestyle motocross events inside of it. I have all these pictures of me inside when it had the old Pepsi thing that came down. I did all these different events in there, and dude, it's just crazy, right? Dude, don't get me going on the action sports stuff, because I can do a whole thing on that too. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
the whole point I'm saying is the kids now, what they're doing now is insane. You have triple backflips on the motorcycles now, or the BMX, they're straight up doing gymnastics on their bikes. You have the quadruple backflip, all kinds of stuff. It's insane. So I mean, I know we've both been to Progresh because I've seen, or not Progresh, Snowbond,
because
Yeah,
I've seen some of
snowball.
your
Yeah.
videos. Snowball's my new hangout for trying to learn a backflip. I had a backflip a few years ago, and before I got really injured, and I was actually a mega ramp trainer. I don't know. Did you ever go to Progress?
I haven't. I've been to Woodward Copper once, and they have like a kind of mega ramp into the foam pit.
So
But
so
yeah,
Progress had the biggest one in Colorado for a long time, and so she would go and videotape me. That dude, she's been my like videographer, I would say a lot. But like, so she would meet me there, and so we were actually a trainer, and we would like train these foreign exchange students and all these like people to do mega ramps, right? And yeah, the kid that
Plead the fifth.
plead the fifth. Everybody from Europe that trained under me went back to Europe in one piece. so like we did all this like mega ramp training, but like, dude, like I to get back into the other stuff, when you do all that kind of stuff, we're like, it's really severe injury, maybe not on an airbag where you're training folks, but like when you're doing it for real, like it's just you have to know you have it, right? You have to know you're going to do it, or you have to be real sure you're going to get real close to where you can close it up, when you get there, because otherwise it's injury or death. You know what I mean? Or being paralyzed. I have friends that have been paralyzed, and I have friends that have died. You know what I mean? Like I don't even want to get into it, but like that is the real reality, especially when you're doing the dirt bikes. Not the bicycles aren't the same. Kramer.
yeah. Scotty
Yeah, I
Kramer,
mean,
he was my favorite rider. I mean, he still is my favorite rider. He's such an inspiration. But yeah, he landed the trick, rode away, and then ended up crashing because he
yeah.
couldn't see that there was a hole there. And yeah, he had to have his skull, front of his skull removed and everything. Yeah,
you're an action sports dude, so you get it, man. And it's
yeah,
something we all know. Like we all know we're taking that risk, and but at the same time, you don't want to be on that end of it, right? You want to be on
right.
the metal end, or at least the like, doing it up with your friends. Like, dude, when you threw that big old jump out there at McKay, the last one, I was like, dude, he said that last one because me and my son had kind of gotten that first kind of rhythm. Like, you just threw it out there. We've been there a bunch of times, and that was like our like, you just throw it out there, like, third time out, just so the whole rhythm, whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
dude,
was
like that's the
so
point. Like,
bummed I
I
couldn't
was
get the
so
last
happy,
jump. Yeah,
dude.
no, those I gotta go back. I really want to go back. Those jumps were so much fun. But yeah, see, like thank you so much for that. But yeah, I was so bummed I couldn't hit the last jump because of how like the
And the
second to
wind and
last one
all that
shifted.
stuff.
Yeah,
But dude,
yeah,
it's just but like that moment, like it's that moment, like you're not trying to prove anything to anybody but yourself, right?
yeah,
Or maybe just getting a little bit of clout from your friends that are there, but it's mostly for you. Like,
yeah.
you didn't need me there. You were gonna send it whether I was there or not. You know what I mean? And I guess that's the point, right?
Hmm.
Is this size stuff, and once again, not like you're like hyper focused on seeing orbs, because I kind of think that actually defeats it to some degree. But with
Yeah.
the size stuff, it's just the focus, man. I talk about the dirt bikes. When you're on a dirt bike, man, it doesn't take away all your problems, but at least gives you a break from carrying them, right?
Hmm.
Because the only thing you're worried about at that moment is the dirt bike, what's in front of you, and not dying, or
Yep.
not getting hurt. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
or
It
not costing
forces you
yourself
to
twelve
live.
thousand dollars because you wreck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it forces you to live in the moment. Like you
In the
are
moment,
very present. Yeah.
dude, because there's nothing else, right? And,
Yeah.
and I love ours is going to be the coolest conversation because you get it, man. When you're in the air, there is nothing else. You are
Hmm.
in the air at that moment, and you're adjusting. You're doing so many micro calculations of your bike and your body position and how your tires are going to land, and if it's going to be rough or soft, and how you're going to use that to transition to the next jump. And with the dirt bikes, you're adjusting, you're hitting your brake in the air, and you're pulling the clutch, or you're over revving so that your front end will come back up. You know what I mean? There's just all these different
Right.
things you're doing that, to the person that just sees it, not only are they amazed that like you're doing these big air jumps, but to them it just looks like up, down. For for
Yep.
for us, it's like, oh, we're hitting the lip a little bit sideways, so we need to compensate a little bit to the right, and then you're in the
Hmm.
air, and it's slow motion. You're
Yep.
just processing so much more, and so I think happens, because dude, I'm telling you, dirt bike guys are way better at Psy, or bicycle guys, because
I
you
mean,
because you
it
just
makes
you're able to
sense.
focus,
Yeah.
getting that focused intention, that single task is way easier for folks that have done those, action sports type stuffs where you can't be focused on anything else. Compared to like, in baseball, man, you got 15 minutes between each pitch. You know what I mean? You got not to talk smack on baseball, but I'm just saying it's just a whole different thing, right? I don't know. Maybe I hope nobody thinks I hate baseball, but you know what I
I
mean?
did
Like,
baseball till 8th grade, and I was an outfielder, and I feel that. I was
you know what
always
I mean?
just
Like,
waiting around. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, I can watch basketball, but I can't watch any other sports because it's just like, dude, I need to go. Give me something
Yeah.
to do. You know what I mean? And uh, probably to some negative extents with that. But oh, hold on, we talked about the smoke ring. I just want to say, smoke ring. That's what our smoke ring kind of looks like. It was like a
Oh,
a
gotcha.
crescent
Okay.
tumbling. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm getting way off task and squirrely.
I'm gonna shut down.
Do we need to talk about anything else with? Dude, we have all these spiritual. I wanted to tell you because you made the comment about the hawk, dude.
Oh yeah.
The animal experiences, and and
Mhm.
and I think other folks talk about this kind of stuff, but dude, it's like heavy all the time. Animals. So let me back up just one more time too. I've always had this connection with animals. I've always had pets. Uh, Wildlife connection has always been important to me. We being in Colorado, dude, you get it. Like we go up to the
Yeah.
mountains, you see elk, you see deer all the time. You see all these different wildlife. One of the things I do really appreciate about Colorado that hopefully does not change in the next 10 years is that we still have open spaces. We still have wildlife. I have owls that live on my property, and there's a bald eagle like cluster of nests just down the road, and like you're just you still get to see what life looks like, and
Yeah.
not just gas stations and Starbucks, you know what I mean,
Right.
and parking lots. And so, you know within all that, making sure that my family has these connections, making sure that we make sure that we're staying connected with nature, has been really important. So there's all these different versions I've talked about. I have all these like ocean experiences. um we have mountain experiences. I mean, the one time we thought a dog was chasing us, to like coming up to run at us, to come to us, because we thought it was a dog, and it ended up being a freaking bear. So,
Oh
we had a
jeez.
bear coming right, like straight coming right at, because we're like, come here, puppy. And it's a freaking bear. But there's just been all these times, and like these shark encounters, and on Big Island, and manta rays, and all these spiritual experiences through getting to do the dirt bikes and the bicycles and stuff, right? Like, um, we did all this stuff in Hawaii. We've done all this stuff here in Colorado, and we've done. I mean, dude, we've done Vegas in every way, shape, or form, spiritual and partying, and jumping off buildings, dude. Like we've jumped off literally every building that will let you jump off of it in Vegas. We've jumped off of it. Like just that rush, man, just to say I
Mhm.
did, because get it last little bit of kind of getting into the size stuff. Man, you only get one life, and doing it up to the best, living each day like it could be your last. Because, man, I don't know, I could have bad luck tomorrow, and this is all the experience that I get to live in my memories. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it is, you know what I mean? And death will come, and not that it's anything to be afraid of, or scared of, or have all this anxiety about. It's almost just kind of like it's your shadow, man. Like you just know it's
Mhm.
gonna be there, and just one day that you're gonna get to find out the rest of the answers, right? You're gonna get to find out. um and I'd like to think my consciousness is so much bigger than just me. Me and this tattooed Ryan vessel that's half mechanical. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna think I'm a cyborg if they ever have to like dig me up or something. They're gonna be like, "What happened to this dude on the left side? How'd this dude survive?" Uh, but it's just when you have the chance to dance, man. I don't know if you're an Alan Watts guy.
Oh
Alan
yeah.
Watts is like my
I love Alan
philosophy,
Watts.
like go
Mhm.
to. I can listen to that dude lecture when we would go like for races like across the state, or just anywhere we would go, when you're just driving for like hours and hours and hours because you're a privateer and you're not flying places because you're not that sponsored. You're still going up the van life. You
Dude,
know,
action sports are so underpaid and
dude,
everything compared
don't
to
even get
like
me
the big
started,
sports. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Even dude, I won't even. I'm gonna hold back on all that because
Yeah.
there's a whole. I could go into a whole rant about how Supercross doesn't pay, anyways. But we're bringing in
Yeah.
all this money, and there's all these different versions of it. Yeah, I think like even like Be Amazy has a few songs that pretty much state how I feel. If you listen to Be Amazy, he's a dirt bike guy. Check it out.
I'll
Sings
have to check
songs
it out.
about Supercross. Sings one
Hmm.
directly to Supercross. So
Nice.
and that one's pretty accurate.
Hmm.
Anyways, you know, you just you learn how to lead with love, man. And
Hmm.
that's what I wanted to make sure I said before I go into all this other stuff is you learn how to lead with love. You learn how to accept people where they're at. And you're not trying to change people. Maybe you're trying to show them other versions, but I can't control you. I can't control if you don't think Psi is real. I can't control if you haven't seen an orb. You know, I can give you hints and tips to help increase the likelihood, but until you have that epiphany moment, I can't change your mind on it, right? And
Hmm.
so I just want to just say, you know, leading with love and that compassion to folks. Um, Not only do I think that it opens up the doors to having the more likelihood of these things happening for you, um, but I think it's just how you should live, man.
Yeah.
We're all doing this human life thing for the first time, and you know I'm giving you Ryan's experience from Brighton, Colorado, and Psy and dirt bikes and love and you know a kid who's in a third world country who's just trying to find the next meal or help his family survive is leading a whole different life and
Yeah.
don't forget that that person exists too, you know what I mean, and be thankful for what you have and be thankful that we're on this podcast and you know I've got all these crazy props behind me and trophies and memories, you know what I mean, and I'm blessed, you're blessed, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
um and not that we shouldn't discount our experience, but just remember that there's other folks that are not having that experience, and man, if we're going to bring up consciousness, if we're going to bring the light to anything, it's that it should be for everyone, man. It's not just for certain people or not just for certain beliefs. It's life, man. We're all doing it for the first time. Let's bring each other up. Let's all elevate each other. You know, a little bit of spirited competition isn't a bad thing, but you know, like, you know, it's unconditional positive regard or unconditional positive love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's helping it all out, man. And so I do truly believe that's what's brought on the psi abilities. I think that if universe is gonna be like we're gonna give all this weird extrasensory stuff, you know, this dude already kind of had a predisposition to it. Let's kill him. You know, let's take him out of the picture, and then we'll try to squeeze what we can back into the toothpaste bottle.
Mm.
If it's a little bit loose, it's all right. If it's a little bit squishy, it's all right. We'll get it all back in there. But you know, it's at this point though, it's seen the outside world. My toothpaste juice that got jammed back in knew kind of what the other side looked like and astro projected and was able to connect with telepathy and get this color overlay that has turned my psi abilities, you know, especially now that we know what people are going to be looking for in terms of like formalization from the Psy Games. And you know, we have the military versions with remote viewing now that really, you know, I was aware of remote viewing, but I, you know, and I knew military people did it, but now there's like 6 different versions of remote viewing that are all connected with me. You know what I mean? And different groups. And I will fully admit it. I don't know that I'm going to say who, but dude, I'm talking to somebody. I have to get up at like 5:30 in the morning tomorrow because I have a meeting with somebody from London to talk about
Hmm.
like consciousness technology. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And that's an
Hmm.
opportunity that like had I not just made that moment of like I'm taking the risk and I don't care what other people say. This has been my experience. I can prove it. I'm going to try to prove it the whole entire way. Like I would never be talking to people from London, even for dirt bikes, you know, or bicycles or any of these other things I do, and getting these opportunities if I didn't take that risk. You know what I mean? And then put in the dedication to achieving it, right?
Right.
Because we had the precognition. I probably could have done okay with the precog, but we wouldn't have done as well without the training. You know what I mean? And we are in a whole different place now with our training than we were at Psy Games. So on that note, unless you think there's anything else, because we've already taken up like an hour and a half. You know, we're doing good on time. We're
Hmm.
we're cranking through it, but at the same token,
What do you want?
well,
Want me to grab
dude,
that?
I like Justin. He's from here. I want to do what I can. So we're gonna give you 3 different versions. We're gonna try to give you condensed of 3 different versions.
Okay.
And once again, man, I am a no BS guy. So it's really important to me for people that see your podcast because, man, I love Corey, but because I didn't show the whole process when I did my stuff with her, people gave me hate on the backside of it. I showed it actually just gave me more motivation and got my like side stuff going again. But I just want to show everybody what we're doing real quick so they see the whole process, they see what's going on, right? So
Gotcha. Okay.
give me just 2 seconds here. I'm going to this is Axel's trainer, so I'm going to remove that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an Egely Wheel. I'm not going to put on a mask because we're going to do it under glass.
Okay.
So
Let's go down so you can maybe I'll just hold it so it
so
stays down
let's do it
focused.
like this. So let me turn it on real quick.
Okay, I'm still gonna hold it so they can see that.
Yeah. Maybe let's.
No, stay.
There you go. That's perfect.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So this is an Egely Wheel. I'll just kind of show like real quick. Is it on? Oh,
Yes.
there we go. Okay. So an Egely Wheel is basically this device that I was introduced to at the Psy Games. So what it is it's basically like a paper kind of plastic wheel on a bearing. Let's see if I can get it in there.
Gotcha.
And a point, right? And so the point of what it does is it's supposed to be a very sensitive device that can pick up on either your energy or your psychokinesis, your telekinesis, and be able to pick it up and move, right? And so we obviously got, I moved a little bit, but I want to stop before we put it on your glass. So we'll let it just sit for one moment here. Let it.
Yeah, and I created like a Psy wheel at home too, and I've tried under the glass. I could not get it to move at all. So I've been trying to practice a little bit. But
Dude,
yeah,
the Psy wheel is the exact same thing. It uses the same principles. It just is, $400 cheaper.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
for any skeptics out there, you can make a Psy wheel at home. Try it under glass. See if you can get it to move because I
Right.
was not able to get
So,
it to
and I
move
just
at all.
showed, like, I picked it up. It's, what is this? Balex? Pyrex. Well, I don't know. I'm looking at it upside down. It's a Pyrex, I don't know, glass thing.
It's a Pyrex dish.
What?
It's full glass. It's not plastic.
So I'm going to stand up. I haven't really danced, but I'm going to stand up real quick.
Does he know why you said you haven't really danced?
Oh, so I don't know if you know this about me, Justin. I'm a dancer. I'm a crier. I'm a lover, and I'm a hater. You know what I mean? So I gotta just move just a bit. Just give me just one moment. I would just jump.
Yeah, no
down.
worries.
We're gonna get into it real quick.
You gotta get in the
take it a little
zone.
bit
I
less
get it.
seriously. So I am gonna touch the glass just because I do want to show. I don't want to get out here and be like, oh, I can't make it move today. So basically what I'm going to do is I'll kind of give you a description too. So there's going to be these little like points that come off. And so what I try to do is I like to go with my left hand or like let me back up. So I'll have a positive and a negative hand. I typically will put my negative hand underneath and my positive hand will start to guide it in some way, shape, or form. And so what I say is everything kind of has these currents that come off of it. And what you're trying to do, so like off this Egely wheel, I would say there's a magnetic pole that kind of looks like spokes, and especially with all these little points, right? And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your energy flow to match it, not synchronize with it, but match it so that you can then get traction, just like you would on a bicycle or a dirt bike, right? You can get some push or pull action to it. So you are the first time I'm trying to do this live on camera. So let's hope this works. Under glass. I'm pretty sure I got it to go crazy the other night.
Well, you had it last week in the videos.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we'll do all right. I am going to touch it just to make sure we can get like a version of my negative here. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to first off, I'm going to try to push it. Is that counterclockwise? This is counterclockwise my way. We're we're gonna try here, man. I make no guarantees. Come on. Come on. Okay, so we got to go that way. I got lots of things to show you here. So once again, we'll pick it up just to show everybody nothing's on the table. This is just paint. Don't be jealous of my artwork, people.
Hey, I love art too, so
Dude, you get it. You get it. Dude,
yeah.
Dude, who wants to buy a table from like American Furniture when you can make a table? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me try to do it this way. Come on. Well, I showed you I could do it under glass. I'm gonna be straight honestly, man. Sometimes I can just tell it's gonna hit real hard. I showed you I could do it. I had it going crazy. Oh my gosh. I had it going crazy like yesterday or the day before. So you know, I'm an open book. My heat went out. Dude, when it went like and it did the blizzard the other day with the Broncos game, it blew the heating mechanism that shuts off the valve, the new air coming in froze because it got freaking so cold here with all that snow. And so my furnace isn't working. So we were all inside. So like I was just in the zone doing all my side stuff on our table. Today, you know, we're talking and we're doing all this other stuff. So I'm not quite as in the zone, but like I posted some videos. I mean, I just showed under glass. Once again, there's no tricks, no nothing.
I saw your
you know,
video under
like,
glass the other day, and that thing was moving.
And, you know, and it's the transparency again, right? So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do one more cool thing. We're gonna do like a color version, and then we're gonna do. You don't by chance have a deck of cards, do you? I should have
actually.
Huh?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have like these color shape cards.
Dude,
I don't know.
Totally. So give me one second. Let me grab my thing and.
Okay.
I just want to show people that like it's not like we are doing magic where we're marking our cards. Like it's that would kind of hurt my heart. People were saying we mark our cards, and it's like the absolute last thing we do is mark our cards.
Doing colors, and he's doing the cards.
So I'm gonna do something with him real quick. We're gonna
okay.
I haven't involved anybody, and Justin's ready. Justin can send the big ramps. I'm ready. Justin's got this one. All right, man. So we're gonna do the simplest one I got, and not that anybody can do this, and it's fun and just to show. There's nothing modified about it. It's just a Plinko board you can buy from Amazon, right? Mm-hmm. So, dude, I want to just prove that you're a little bit psychic. Is it gonna be blue or red?
I'm feeling red.
Red. Come on. Dude, dude. No. I just want to prove everybody, you know, you got it, man. But I just, you know, I just want to show people that like for not that much money, you can train to do a lot of this stuff yourself. And so once again, I'm not encouraging folks to go to Vegas and try to win money, but you know, by training black, red, we also do it with cards. So if you shuffle cards, you can call out black, red. And we'll do a little bit of a different version of that where it's a little bit more in depth, but just these simple tasks, man, that can help improve your precognition. You know what I mean? And so the next thing I'm going to do is Mindsight, which is one of the events I got second in. This is the one Dahlia knocked out of the park, and I've been working on my skills. So we're gonna try to show a little bit of different things. I'm gonna give you two different versions of this box. This box is gonna be important here in the next little bit. But I wanted to show I have two different masks. So if you ever see in my videos, this is my main mask. It is still sealed. It's still got the eye pocket, so it seals against your face. But this one has earphones. This is I listen to binaural beats before like we get into it. I could go into this whole thing about like the gate program and how I was in the gate program as a kid, but because of that I actually will not use them in row tapes. Just not that I have anything negative to it. It's just like that was just a thing back then. So like there's better versions of it now, in my opinion. So dude, gamma waves. If you're gonna listen to binaural beats, gamma waves or like alpha waves, depending on what you're trying to get into. If you're trying to be more creative, like the gamma, if you're trying to be more focused, like alpha, and that binaural beat, and make sure whatever you're listening to, though, it's a real binaural beat where you're getting the 2 different tones. Because some things will say they're binaural beats and they're not. You have to have 2 different tones, folks. 2 different tones to create the third, and that hemisyncs your brain. It helps makes connections that aren't typically there. And so, not that you have to do it like every 10 minutes, but you know, we do it as kind of a warm up, really, to when she comes over, so that I'm ready to be in the zone by the time she gets here. So
Nice.
what we're also going to do is we're going to put on this blocker. I'm going to use the same one that we used at Corey that I cut all sorts of crap on, but I'm showing everybody right now. It is just a piece of double-sided tape on a piece of black construction paper. We're going to put it onto the power part of the mask. There's no windows. There's no nonsense. That's all it is, folks. I'm going to push it on with my hand, make it a little bit warmer so it helps adhere. And now we have that same mask that was used on the other podcast. So hopefully nobody talks crap on yours, man, because it's the same thing. So
I mean, I get fired up from the haters too. Like when they call my videos like satellites or whatever, all it does is inspires me to go out and get better stuff.
I hope people know that when, especially for an action sports guy, and you get it. When you say you can't do it or that's not real, it just fires me up to be like, okay, well, if you thought that wasn't real, let me go show you like 10 steps more if we're gonna blow whatever that was out of the water. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm gonna put on the mask once again. I'm not gonna put on. I have a coup de grace version we'll do here in a minute, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have Cheryl. So I'm in the mask. I'll show up and down once again. This one seals up on all sides. It even seals up with the headphones. The headphones are back here. It actually seals to your side. So this is actually a better mask in terms of coverage than the Mindfold, in my opinion. So I'm gonna try to.
Are we doing colors?
Yeah, we're gonna do colors. So go ahead and just mix them up. This is not gonna be fast. So what this is gonna be is this is gonna be more of intuitive Mindsight. I'm gonna try not to see through the mask. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to feel the colors.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
You're grabbing them?
Well, you're just gonna put them in my hand. I'm gonna tell you what they are.
Okay. Well, then it doesn't really matter if I'm mixing them.
Well, green, yellow, red, this one's coming in yellow and green. Hold on. Green. Red or orange, red. It's hot. So we'll just do a couple more because I can like feel that we're doing all right. Blue. That might have been green. I sometimes mess up blues and greens. I will straight admit it. I don't know if I'm like Mindsight colorblind. This is blue or green. This feels like green. I don't know. Green jungle. Maybe let's do 2 more. Unless we've sucked. If you've sucked, let's maybe do a few more. That's not a good sign, Joe. You put another one in my hand. We're kind of losing it. Hold on.
Because I'm making fun of you and laughing.
No, it's not. Red.
Do you want to do one more?
One more. Orange.
All right.
I'm gonna come out.
All right.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Okay, hold on. I got kind of caught up in there. So folks always ask, do you shut your eyes or do you open them? Right? And so I will fully admit I have got glamorous, amazing, bushy eyelashes. Until they get caught up in the masks. So if I cry or look like I'm crying, it's because you physically are opening your eyes. You're trying to see what you can. It's coming in intuitively. So but you do have your eyes open, right? Like you are trying to see substance. And so
Mhm.
the way that colors in particular, did I do it right or did I say?
That was the only one you got
Yeah,
wrong.
I
you
got
did.
one wrong?
You
You
said it.
did.
You said it.
I feel like
No!
that makes it more credible, though. Like
Dude,
to show
no!
people.
I really did. I really did.
And it was orange.
Oh no!
No.
But you,
All right. Well, crap. I thought I aced it.
I
All right.
also don't give him credit if he's wrong. So if people
Yeah.
think I'm just lying afterwards as we're counting,
Son of a
don't
gun. I
do
didn't get
that.
100%. All right. Well, regardless, I'm hoping we did all right when we showed.
Yeah.
So what happens for me, man, especially with these like colors, right, is I put on the mask, I try to get into the zone, and you get these like colors of fluorescence that come in, and you get these intuitive visions that kind of come along with it, and you're making sense of nonsense. You're making sense of these colors and abstract feelings. I try to talk through the process as much as I can. But I know we've already been going for a minute, so I'm gonna keep it rolling here. Let's do the big boy. Let's do this one more time. Come on.
And do what?
I'm gonna do it with the eye patches and do it faster. Son of a gun, really? And this one?
I wasn't gonna lie.
Hey, I know, I just
So when
The
you are
minutes
doing
like
your
this one.
training, you don't get any feedback till like you're finished, correct?
right,
Or-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't want her to like I don't want to get cocky and think, all right, well now I'm doing more than what I am. Also, on the flip side, I don't want to be like, oh, you've got like one correct and now just
Yeah.
give up. You know what I mean? So it's
Gotcha.
just better if she just tells me at the end. So
Mhm.
adhesive eye patches, brand new. These are clinical eye patches. Oh my gosh. I have meat paws. I have big old hands that don't work.
He can't shuffle cards.
I cannot shuffle cards. So when
I
people
suck at
think a
shuffling
lot
cards.
of this like stuff that I have, like I'm totally trying to be legit and keep it real. I am, but it's also because I cannot shuffle. My hands do not do it.
I bought him the card shuffler as a kind of a gag Christmas gift.
Nice.
So we're trying to do all
I
this
mean,
psychic
I'm
stuff, and
terrible at
it's like
shuffling.
I can't even get the cards to like mush together. So how are we gonna shuffle them with any amount of accuracy? All right, so we'll just show the right one up, so we're all the way closed up, just so people know. Oh, just to make sure. Once again, you're talking like a half inch of adhesive, so you're in these things. It's not like there's
Yeah.
getting around anything that's happening. So, give me just one more second. I'm gonna show you that I'm sealing, but I'm gonna stand up because this one's gonna be faster and more intense.
Are you
Yeah.
standing up for the whole demonstration?
No,
Okay.
but I gotta be able to get this going. So this is gonna be like one of those hard ones where it's like, okay,
Well, do you want to show that you're sealed?
Yeah.
Wait, that's upside down.
see, this is why I do it. This is why I do it on screen. So nobody knows that I'm this
I'm
disorganized.
announcing it.
Thanks, Cheryl. So, once again, we're all shut up. We're gonna put on the mindfold. Oh, we came down a little bit. We're gonna put on the mindfold. Mindfold, once again, is unmodified. It's what we used in the Psy Games. Cheryl, I'm gonna have you help me. Is it centered?
Yeah, that is up a little.
They're like there in my ears now. Oh, it's because this back thing's tied. There we go.
I feel like now it's over your eyes.
Like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Do you
Okay.
want it to be lower?
I
Like against your nose?
here, hold on. Because it's pulling on my eyelashes. Dude, this is the thing that like nobody ever shows, right? So
Pulling his eyelashes.
it's
Hold on one
completely pulling these crazy eyelashes. So just so people know, we are really going to be in here,
Yeah.
and I'll try to
It's
not
so
take-
crazy that people like will hate on this. Like
Dude,
it's so
that's what I'm
legit to me. Like you know, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put it back down. We're sealed in. I'm gonna put it on the center. Center here. Right?
Yes.
Let me make sure we can get into the zone before we do this. So,
Okay, and again, there's nothing.
oh boy, okay, we're in. All right. Hold on. I just want to show everybody, like, put me right up in here. Show I don't have anything in my nose, right?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. So we're just gonna show it. I can't tell where I'm at. So tell me if I need to go left, right, up, down. So
You're good. You're showing like the top. Now you're showing the bottom, like your nose.
okay, and we're sealed on the sides.
Yes.
People can see.
Correct.
All right. Where's my box?
Are you gonna pick up? And do it yourself?
I'm gonna have you put on a timer.
Okay, but what side do you want? Which I have it showing so that
Red on the right. Red.
correct. Red is right there. All right, as long as that's
All right. So go ahead and put on. We're gonna give myself 30 seconds. This is gonna be a fast run. Hold on. I can tell because we just had it. I'm in that same spot, right?
you're
Yes.
crooked sideways, but they can still see you.
Okay. So we're framed, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
And
Okay.
hold on. I just moved it to where you can't see it and move it close to you. There we go. And you want me to do? It's gonna be a 30-second.
30 seconds. The goal is to get these all in 30 seconds.
And you're grabbing them.
I'm gonna grab them.
All right.
I'm gonna try to do what we did in the Psy Games, and we're gonna try to beat 30 seconds because I'm pretty sure that's very similar to what Dahlia did with the donuts. Let me just get myself
There's
25,
of
right?
them. Okay.
Fine.
Just making sure that you know the math.
So this is
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God!
Oh gosh.
No!
He dropped it.
No! My time's gonna be bad now.
Hold on. It's back.
It's back on.
Yeah.
I can't see where you put it. I just see. I am just feeling the cold. So here's what I'm trying to do.
3,
No!
2.
No! I'm gonna knock over the Egely Wheel. It won't go in.
Timer.
Oh, son of a gun!
Okay. So I don't know that it matters if you completed all of it because it's not really just your timing, but how accurate? Because I wasn't really fully watching because I was also showing.
How
the
accurate
timer.
were we?
You got them all correct.
Wow.
Yeah, at least we were accurate this time. We were slow, but
That's
we were
incredible,
accurate.
dude.
Dropped it all.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many did you get in that time?
Not 30 seconds.
Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 15.
15.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I
So
got
one every
about
2
seconds
seconds.
of shape.
That's why I asked you if you knew how many there were.
No, that's all right. Hey, now we got a
It
goal.
has to grab and go
Yeah.
and think.
No, that's
Well,
incredible. That's amazing.
Let's show the cards real quick.
I thought you were doing his cards.
Oh, yes. Let's do your cards. Then we're going to do,
Okay.
we'll do one last with the, let's do your cards.
Here.
So, man, it really, anything you want to put out there, just go ahead and put out. And I'm going to just try to
So these are
catch the vibe.
shapes and colors.
Yeah, I'm going to show everyone just like the box. So these are color and shape, like literally for like toddlers to learn.
100%. It's that kind of stuff we totally use, man. So,
yeah. So I'm just going to grab the stack. I'm going to just like fan them out and I'm going to pick like a random card so people can't say that it was.
no, please do. He has it out, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Blue. It's blue and it's a shape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blue for sure is coming through. I'm getting bubbles or water, maybe like a bubble moving. What would a bubble moving be? Oval? Or like
Oval,
a long, like elongated circle?
That would be called an oval.
Sure.
Thanks,
Cheryl.
Elongated circle. Otherwise,
We'll go.
Well, we
go
must have
next
gotten that one
card.
right because neither of you, like, we must have been
Might
okay.
have gotten
I don't
it
know.
real wrong. We're just not, we're not
Yeah.
telling you.
All right. Next card is up.
This feels like our training deck. Our training deck came through red, expensive diamonds, red diamonds for sure.
Okay.
That was for sure a red diamond.
We got next card up.
It's definitely, so I got right angles, so I know it's maybe a plus or a square or a star, because those always kind of hit the same. It doesn't feel as love. It doesn't feel as vibrant. It feels burnt, or like October, maybe orange for October. And I'm gonna say right angle square, orange square, or like a brown square, October square.
Okay.
October square.
Okay. All right. Next one's up.
Dark, angry, sinister. It's long. I can't even say what I'm gonna say. Cheryl, don't say anything. I can't.
Mm-mm.
It's long and it's black. It's a rectangle black.
Okay.
I mean, I can't. I'm sorry, man. The humor doesn't ever stop either. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. All right. Oh, I'm dropping cards.
At least I held back some of that.
Okay. Next card is up.
It's this one feels royal. I want to say blue, but it feels more royal. So maybe like a dark blue, or like a purple. Maybe like a purple, and it's coming through as a hard right angles against square. Purple square. Are we doing all right with him? This is the first time I've ever done this.
How
do
many
you
more
wanna
do you want to
Let me
do?
just tell you.
Let's just do one more, but I want to stay in, and let's do just one really quick card game.
Okay, one
Okay.
more. And do you want to
All
know
right.
his results before or after you do the card game?
We'll do his before.
Okay.
This
Okay.
one came through hard as a Christmas tree. It's a green square, hard Christmas tree, hard Christmas tree. Green triangle, hard all day, every day. It is Santa's time of year.
Yeah. All right.
All
I
right.
don't know, man. I try to talk through how it comes, and sometimes it's like these abstract thoughts that just, but
No,
they
like
seem to be
that.
accurate. So it's like,
That
I'd like
helps
you
a
to
lot,
tell his
actually.
results since you have the cut.
Yeah, you got 100%. You got them all
Dude.
correct.
The brown orange October. You
Yeah,
said-
the October.
you said
Yeah, you were
orange,
struggling.
Then you
It
said,
is kind of like a burnt orange, though. Like,
well, and he's
yeah.
never had brown as a color. I realized none of our training stuff
gotcha.
has brown. So that was also new.
yeah, we're
Awesome.
starting to. Maybe that's why I thought it was orange.
That's probably why. Because you okay.
Let's
Are
just
we
do it.
doing black, red? Or are we doing
Well, I mean, you tell me, man.
the
If you think is there anything else dramatic we could show with us? So he's a cool dude. I want to give him like dramatic.
I mean,
Calling out the specifics is pretty crazy.
which would be the black, red?
Let's just do it real quick. Maybe I'm gonna give Cheryl just like 5 minutes to shuffle this deck.
5
Cheryl,
minutes.
well, 2 minutes. Shuffle it on camera so they see everything. Maybe I'll move over just a little bit, and then let's make sure I get at least like 2 face cards.
Okay, so these are actually Stranger Things cards. So there are some like. Do you want the jokers left in
I
and
want.
everything?
Yeah, give me.
Okay, there are a couple cards that aren't in the standard deck that are like specific to this deck of cards.
Gotcha.
Just
Okay.
FYI. So, do you want me to use card shuffler?
Yes.
I do know how to shuffle, but I use it.
She's way better at it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Hey man, there's many things I'm good at. Don't ask me to ever make you a bar drink. I will never make a good bar drink. Don't ever ask me to cook meat on a grill. I can try, but I'm not like the grill dude, and I'm not the shuffler.
All right.
Okay. That was 2 times. I feel like that's good.
I just don't. You don't even have to like. Maybe just show him the card. Like just put it up to the thing. Okay.
Gotcha.
I feel like right out of the gate we're getting a face card. We're getting is it Joyce? It's Joyce with her axe. Is it Joyce? It's a feminine. It's diamond. It's diamond feminine Joyce maybe. Or maybe it's Eddie. Is that Eddie? That's Eddie. I can feel it's Eddie. It all of a sudden came through as Metallica. Dude, Puppet Master just came through. That was all of a sudden was Eddie. It's diamonds. It's red. It's Eddie. I don't know what I'm supposed to be seeing here. Red and Pokey I don't know. This might not be one I'm used to. Red, pokey, special card. I don't know. That's what I got for that one. Yikes. We are not showing as well as we usually do. This is definitely a hearts. This is maybe a 5, 6 hearts red. 7 hearts, 5, 6. I don't know. 7, 6, or 5 hearts. For sure red. Face card for sure. This might be oh my gosh, I have a brain fart in her name. The skater girl. Sam? Is that her name? It's Diamonds, or it's Diamonds Queen. Gosh, what's her name? It's the one that Vecna takes. Anyways, the skater girl. Max. Max.
There you
I
Sam.
don't know where I was getting Sam from. This feels like either Mike or Will, and it's a heart. It's heart for sure. Red. Will of them is on the picture. Will or Mike. I can't tell, or both.
Are you?
I see the haircut. I see the bowl cut.
Okay, but if it was a standard deck of cards, what would it be?
Like, what do you mean standard deck of cards?
Like,
3, a queen, or a king.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm focused on the fun. This is not a normal one. It's the Hellfire shirt. It's the white and black shirt with the Hellfire. Are we doing all right? I feel like this has been a fun group. Maybe let's just end it there, because
End it.
unless you got like a Vecna. Give me like a Vecna or like a
That's
cool
not
one.
the next card. You want me to look through the cards?
No, then that cheats. So we'll just call it there.
Wait, no.
We'll
We'll gotta do this one.
Do one more.
I have a reason.
Black spades 9 or 7, maybe 7. Black spades 9. Black spades for sure.
Okay. You hadn't done any blacks, so you had to
True.
do a black.
True. I guess I didn't really think about that. So I'm gonna go ahead, and once again we're gonna get right up in here. We're gonna try to show everybody that we're keeping this as legit as we can. Cheryl, I'm gonna have you pull off the
What if
thingies.
I point?
Well,
What?
I mean, it is what it is. So we'll just it's just pull. We're good. Oh, I'm back. And so, just so people can see, what was that one thing? Oh, it was Vecna. I messed up on the Vecna, dude. Dude,
I couldn't tell it was Vecna.
I
one spider one, or which one?
that way.
It's like the tentacle version.
Oh, I see
It's
him in
claw.
there now. Yeah,
I couldn't see what it was either, dude. I like messed up on a couple tonight. I'm sorry, man. I tried to
you
give
did
you the
great.
pizzazz, and I didn't get it right.
No, that or 7 heart, but it was an 8. But it was a heart.
Yikes.
So I put it in the. You got something about the card, right? And that's
dude, tonight. Well,
I mean,
well, everybody
that
knows
was
it's not
amazing.
always bangers. You know what I mean? But we're able to prove that, like, my eyes are kind of messed up. We're able to prove that, like, there's something there, right? And you know, and I've gotten a little bit of hate because the way I do it is apparently different than the way that other folks do it. All I can do is just tell people my experience, tell people how I do it, and point them in the best direction. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as like a clinical or like a drug, right? Drugs have different reactions on different people, and it's not that person's doing anything different at all. Just different sizes for different people. You know what I mean? So I just want people to know what my experience is. I just want to be able to show that I can do it. I can do it on command for all intents and purposes. And I just want people to work on their own training, man. And I heard through your post that you're very likely to go to Psy Games this year. You're trying to, at least, right?
So I booked my flight. I still have to buy my ticket, but I am definitely going to Psy Games this year. So
Dude.
I'm very excited.
Dude, I'm excited, and not only because I to have you there, dude, but dude, it's gonna blow your mind. Like,
oh yeah, I know.
Psy Games for sure for like a week. like it was just hard to even come down off of it, right? Like not just because I was a competitor, but like, dude, it's the people that you're gonna meet and the time you're gonna get to have with them, or at least last year we got to actually have some time. The booths and the experiences and the people, man, it's gonna be like nothing you've ever done, and I guarantee you you're gonna want to come back every year, man. And
Oh,
I'm
I'm
dude,
sure I
dude,
am.
now we're gonna have at least 2 action sports guys there. So,
Heck
this
yeah.
off that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We gotta
So,
show everyone what's up, you know?
dude, exactly.
Yeah.
We gotta show them what's up, dude, represent the Colorado and to all those East Coast folks. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to say 2 more things. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate everything in your podcast and in your YouTube channel, man, everything that you're putting out. Cause man, every time you think it doesn't make a difference, someone's going to show you that it's making a difference. And, for nothing else, man, I watch your stuff all the time. It's the connections and the people that help really expand this consciousness, help make it accepted, help take the woo woo out of it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and make it more realistic and obtainable. And not to say that everyone's going to plow out, the cards or the colors without the training. It's not like you can just jump into it, but at the same token, I try to show folks, as much as I can of a controlled process to show that like training can get you there. And man, if you got a goal, just put your heart matches your words, matches your actions, and try to achieve it. And don't be afraid to take the risks, man. Then not you, but just everybody. People, don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be
Yeah,
dumb and
wise
send it
words.
all the time. I mean, sometimes you just gotta send it. Sometimes
Yeah.
you just gotta send it. You know.
Sometimes I know, like, you can feel it in your bones. You know you got it, but the fear can still be there sometimes. Like going for that large line, like I knew I had it, but I just had to, shut that little voice off real quick and just go for it.
Dude, turn
Yeah.
off the fear, turn on the like. It's just gonna happen, and when I get to the bottom, I'm gonna be so stoked because now I've got this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's all you're focused on. And not every time, but a lot of times it works. Especially except for with Vecna and that stupid green one. It did not work with those.
I mean, I call it a success. Like to me, it looked like I mean, you said it was red and pointy. Like, I mean, I thought you
I
nailed
don't
it.
know. I
We've gotten more specific though after the Psy Games.
Yeah,
I will say about training, it used to be it was just a color. It was is it
Yeah.
black or is it red? And then one day
the window's kind of open.
One day it was like he was like, okay, it's red. And I like went to do normal. And he's like, wait a second. Go back to that card. And he wanted to call out the number and he wanted to be more specific with heart or diamond. And then he did the whole deck that way. And that was not me prompting. He said, wait a second, go back. So I don't.
When you have the epiphany moment, when the window's open, man, you go from this kind of intuitive with these colors and emotion to these 2 kind of like single small points, and it's just one more feed in, right? Like I have a visual along with this emotional and color, and I can become pretty accurate with it. Even like, I've done other demonstrations where like I don't even have to be facing it. It just has to be somewhere within my head signal. You know what I mean? And we can do it behind the head, at distance. I jumped the motorcycles, you know what I mean? With the stuff on, I did the wheelies. It's, it's really just getting that perception of the things around you. And you almost get a picture in your head of what's going on. I mean, I guess that would be the best way to describe it, And so, man, I just want to say thank you again. And I appreciate you, dude. And we got to go ride again. I got dude. So I had just fallen when I met up with you that last time I had an old man moment, man, all these old man moments, and put a big old chunk out of my eye. My eye's finally healed. And, I'm ready to send it with you next time, dude.
Heck yeah, dude, I'm excited. And also, I want to say I appreciate everything you're doing so much. I love the videos you're putting out. You're really helping people be able to start practicing these things. And like you said, you're documenting everything. You can see that progression. Like back to BMX, like I've been riding again since 2019 and I've been posting videos since then. Like I can go back and look at my old videos and see how far I've come since that moment. So yeah, I think everything you're doing is incredible. And like I can't wait to see what's next,
Dude,
honestly.
you're gonna be at Psy Games, dude. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
bring up all of our OG Colorado guys. You know, all the folks that hopefully will be coming with me to go get another at least one more win. I'll take one more win. If I don't get 3, I totally get it. There's gonna be way more competition. I want one win. We're shooting for one win, guys.
One win.
One win.
That's one.
Maybe 3 podiums again, maybe 5, but at least one win.
All right.
But-
Well, awesome. I would love if you could shout out all your socials for everyone. I am gonna link everything down below.
Your phone's right here.
Cheryl, maybe you should do this part.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm old, man.
shut.
Social media, what's that?
Are you just
Right.
meaning his handle?
Yeah, so it's what, Monstrous Nightmare?
Yeah, so on
When-
just on Facebook, I post a lot there. It's just Ryan Desbien, or you can look up I think it's just Ryan Desbien on Facebook.
It is just Ryan Desbien
On
Monstrous Nightmare
1, 2, 3, 4.
is on Instagram,
And then TikTok is at Monstrous Nightmare.
and it's Ryan Desbien. Both are on there.
All right.
So
Do you want YouTube?
Cool.
yeah, and then the YouTube, I don't know what the YouTube channel is. I can send you the link because I
Yeah.
just started posting again on that just
Yeah, he
to
hadn't been active, but he's
we
bringing it back.
we started to
Awesome.
post again on it. And we'll be posting more, but yeah, I got a YouTube as
Cool.
well, and you'll see some dirt bike stuff on there. And man, I just want to say one more time, I appreciate you, man, and I look forward to talking to you. I'm sure, dude, if you start seeing the stuff up there and it starts heading this way, just be like, dude, I just saw something. Just text me because dude, I would love to catch. Like if we could catch something that comes from your direction down south, because a bunch of my stuff flies south, man. I just like I'm out looking tonight, man, or something, because it would be cool to have like a correlation of what you see and I see, and
Yeah,
once again,
definitely.
man, can't deny it if something like that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna have to like get together and do a Skywatch too, because who knows what will show up when we do that.
Dude, exactly. I'm positive something will happen with all that energy, and yeah, man, I appreciate you, and you know, shout out to Corey and all the other ones that we all are kind of connected with, and man, I'm gonna give you one little tidbit, but I don't know that she's gonna post this yet. Me and Corey are gonna be doing some training together and be posting it. So man, just be watching out. This, I'm telling you, maybe this little group here might be more at the Psy Games than you think. So
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. And thank you again. And thank you, Cheryl, as well, for coming on and helping and everything. And yeah, this was an awesome conversation. I can't wait to share this with anyone. And yeah, if you have no more final messages, I guess we'll wrap it up here. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And I will catch you all in the next one.
peace, everybody.
Bye.